in the school. So it's very interesting as well. Thank you so much for sharing that. And now we open the floor for some Q&A. If you have questions, feel free to post them in our YouTube chat, and then we'll ask the presenters. I know that you're eager to know more about the projects that they presented, so I'll be happy to share that with you. Since we have a little bit of lag time, I can start with a question, and then Francisco or Bruno will let me know if you have some questions in the chat. So I'll start with a question. And I would like to know, Sonia, what were both the benefits and the constraints or challenges that teachers find when working collaboratively? Perhaps you know from your experience in the schools, what do you anticipate as the biggest challenges that teachers will face when they are from different areas? Did you understand my question?
Maria will help me.
Okay.
Oui, donc en fait, il s'agit...
Not that good.
Et donc, en fait, c'est par rapport à la coopération entre les différents enseignants. Quels sont les côtés positifs et peut-être un peu des limites, des défis de cette coopération. Et donc, peut-être par rapport à, surtout pour le projet LoCALL, quel est le plus grand défi par rapport à cette coopération entre les différents enseignants?
La crainte qu'ils ont de ne pas pouvoir finir le programme.
Oui, pardon.
Vas-y.
The biggest challenge is the fact they're afraid they will not be able to finish to follow the whole program they have from the ministries.
Yeah, it's something normal. They'll feel that they are, I'm sorry, just, but normally they feel that the linguistic landscapes is something more to add to what they are already doing. And they cannot take a look at their curriculum and to their program, their syllabus, and see where they can fit all these activities. It doesn't have to be an add-on. You can embed them in your curriculum, in what you are already doing.
Maria?
Oui, donc en fait, c'était juste, Monica elle a juste dit que c'est vrai dans d'autres pays aussi qu'il y a beaucoup des enseignants qui le prennent comme une charge supplémentaire de travail. Mais si on regarde bien les programmes, on trouve des moyens d'intégrer les activités liées avec des paysages linguistiques pour faire le lien vraiment direct avec les programmes scolaires.
Bien sûr, mais il y en a peu qui veulent changer. Peu de gens veulent changer leur façon de faire et veulent vraiment se remettre en question. Et qui plus est, en France, la question de la langue, et peut-être surtout en Alsace, c'est une question épineuse parce que l'État est centralisé. La langue, c'est vraiment le français. Il y a peu de place déjà pour les langues régionales. C'est vraiment, même en Alsace, ce qui est vraiment incroyable. Et pour les langues des élèves, à partir du moment où ce n'est pas une langue étudiée à l'école, on considère que l'élève n'a pas d'habileté. Un élève qui parlera espagnol avec un membre de sa famille, mais qui ne fait pas espagnol à l'école, cette compétence ne sera pas reconnue.
Yeah, so actually, Sonia,
you can make a synthesis of what Sonia said. You don't have to translate everything word by word.
Yeah, just to sum up some ideas. So she said that actually some teachers they have certain habits how to work, and even if it's integrated to the programs, it's difficult for them to change their working habits. And moreover, in France and maybe also particularly in Alsace, it's said like the language of schooling is French. It's the national language. And even for regional languages, for example, for Alsatian, it's not always easy to find its place. It's not always recognized. And it's even more the case for home languages. and it's considered like if a person studies, for example, Spanish at school, then the person has the competences in this language. But if Spanish is a home language, then is as if the person had no competences in this language.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you want to say anything else, Sonia, or if we can move on to other questions.
Yes, you can move on. Thank you for hearing me.
Okay. So I have 2 questions from Melinda, who would like to ask Monica if the students have any previous training in inquiry-based learning. And the second question, if you have any tips from your experience to help set up this type of collaborative cross-disciplinary work. So 2 questions. If they had the experience in inquiry-based learning, and then if you have any tips for this type of collaborative experience, Monica.
Well, my students had no experience at all.
You can put your camera on.
Oh, yeah, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Well, my students didn't have any experience at all, any previous experience on research-based learning at all. And in fact, the way I presented the activities, this idea was hidden because of the lockdown. I did not explicitly mention that, okay, we're going to do a research and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to take advantage of this new situation that we are in schools and we can do face-to-face sessions. And I'm going to explode this idea and transfer the knowledge they need. But never, it's been very interesting how they did it, how they got involved, because there was a high percentage of participation taking into account the conditions. And they all did a great job and sharing all the photographs and findings.
They did. They were, which age were the students?
10, 11.
Yeah, 10, 11. Yeah, it's very interesting. Then the other question was if you have any tips from your experience to help set up this type of collaborative cross-disciplinary work. Tips.
Well, tips. Well, in connection to what you have already said, Monica, this could be embedded within the curriculum easily, very easily. And because it's part of the plurilingual dimension, in Spain at least, we have this as part of our curriculum. If you are teaching English as a foreign language, this could be part of your syllabus with no problem at all. And it could be transversal because arts can appear there. The digital competence also is part of the project. So my tip, if this is a tip, I don't know, is that it's very easy to include it in your planning because it's obviously part of the curriculum. And I guess in any country, it would be very similar in Europe.
Other teachers, or was it only you?
It was only me. So the collaboration was from students. It was only me because of the lockdown. And also sometimes in schools it's not easy to find partners who want to start a new project, or at least in my school, it's hard. But the school head of studies and the director, they were more, well, they said that they were very happy to present all these aspects and topics to the students. And it was more collaboration between them, because this is something I didn't explain, but my students were sharing their productions in collaborative documents. So I created Google presentations, and each student had a slide and they pasted their productions there. And then I helped them to make it look better somehow. So it was collaboration among students and the teacher.
Yeah, I just realized now that Melinda said it wasn't for Monica. I wasn't asking tips for Monica, but they are always welcome.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what I said that tips.
Sorry for the confusion, but it's great to have, and I think that all teachers should be able to tell us some tips about how to conduct this type of work. So I'm asking Sonia now, what do you think could be tips for conducting this type of work in school? So from what my understanding, you will be doing this in the next academic years. So what do you think could be the most interesting way to present this to students? Sorry, Maria, if you could do the translation bit.
Si j'ai bien compris, Maria, il s'agit de voir quelle est la meilleure façon de présenter le travail aux élèves, c'est ça?
Oui, c'est ça. Quelles sont un peu des bonnes idées, voilà.
J'ai trouvé que dans les PowerPoint qui étaient présentés, il y avait des idées, mais vraiment excellentes. C'est vrai que montrer déjà aux élèves quelque chose qui a été fait, ça leur permet d'aller vers des endroits où ils n'iraient pas. Je pense notamment au langage musical, ça c'est, ou au langage des signes. Montrer aux enfants une réalisation, on pourrait croire que ça va les brider, mais pas du tout. Je crois qu'au contraire, ça leur ouvre des possibilités. Donc oui, montrer des exemples de paysages linguistiques, oui, ça peut tout à fait aider. Montrer ce qui est fait dans d'autres pays, ouais, ça aussi, ça peut tout à fait aider. Je ne sais pas si j'ai répondu à la question.
Yeah.
To say briefly, Sonia said that can be a nice idea to show the examples of what has already been done in other places, and that can invite students to go to some places and to discover like new opportunities that they would not have done by themselves, like for example the sign language or the music language, and we can think that can like orient them too much in certain ways, but she said that on the contrary, it can open them new possibilities.
Yeah, that's right. We have another question from Ana Sofia Pinho. Hello, Ana Sofia, welcome. And I'll probably pose a question to both of you. She wanted to know more about how you are persuading or have persuaded parents or families in general to get involved in the activities. How can you persuade people from outside school to get involved? If you want to start, Sonia.
Donc en fait la question c'est
ouais,
comment...
ça j'ai compris. Je pense que les enfants, les parents sont fiers quand les productions de leurs enfants sont montrées à l'école, à toute l'école et en dehors de l'école. Donc ça, je pense que voir que le travail de leur enfant dépasse la classe, ça va être quelque chose qui va les encourager à seconder leur enfant. Ça, j'en suis sûre. Et puis, il y a aussi le fait que l'on va leur donner une reconnaissance et que ce travail permet aussi de renouer le contact entre différents membres de leur famille, c'est-à-dire qu'ils vont retravailler leurs racines. Et je pense qu'à l'adolescence, c'est quelque chose, ils sont à un âge où ça commence vraiment à les travailler justement. Et faire ce travail qui va faire du lien dans la famille, je pense que ça va les engager dans la tâche.
First, the parents, they are always proud when the school works of their children are shown to the whole school. And this is even more the case when these are the works, the production of the children that were made out of school. And moreover, concerning the working on languages and language landscapes, that is also a kind of recognition for these families, for their cultures, for their identities. And it can also help to these families to look again to the links that they have inside the family.
Yeah, and that's particularly interesting and important in the case of France, when there is such a strong role of the French language in school when other languages do not enter the school context. So the same question for Monica. So how can you persuade parents and families to join the project and to get involved in the activities?
Well, I think that the best way to, let me switch on my camera again.
Yeah.
Now, I think the best way to engage families or parents is to engage students. I mean, if they are motivated, if they find the project appealing, and this is crucial. So this is the best way to make families participant. And also, sometimes when you create a challenge for them in which they may need a little bit of help from them, and this will obviously make them be more responsible for their kids and the school. But I think that this should be part of the school program, like creating activities from infant education to third cycle. I mean, not only one activity in which you ask for help. Should be part of the school. That's my opinion. So if it is part of the school, they will be willing to help and participate. I don't know if that helps. That's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's not right or wrong answer. It's just your experience and thoughts, and I think that they are well appreciated by the people watching us. Well, Francisco is saying that there's no other further questions. If you want to add another question, just let us know.